If you have plans on playing basketball past high school at any level, regular public school is not the fucking answer.
They're playing basketball on 6 continents. The only one they're not, Antarctica. And put a hoop up there, somebody will start playing.
To go 4 years of prep school where your whole value as a human being is basketball, I think is dangerous.
Math, reading, and writing. The other part of your days need to be dedicated to working on your craft. Because if you're not, you're going to be behind in the game of basketball.
I never knew the quadratic formula. I had a 40-inch vert.
Like, I felt like soon as we were just about to see the best version of John Wall, like, he started dealing with injuries. He had the Wizards relevant for a while.
That first 6 months, 8 months, without basketball, without having a schedule, was the worst.
There's no way you go slap me in the back of the head. That ain't playing.
Dude didn't even flinch though. Dude just was like, wow. Okay, yeah, you know.
Kyrie always has basketball. This always stays like this. He is searching for this.
Now, if you want to learn how to farm, just come holler at me. I'll show him how to grow cucumbers, tomatoes. I'll show him how to kill a chicken in 30 minutes, have it ready to cook.
Hi. Welcome to this edition of Road Trippin. Allie Clifton, Kendrick Perkins. Rin our testicles? Like what? Channing?
Oh, dang it. It was supposed to be Ron our testicles.
You misspelled your own joke.
Dude, I wasn't even paying attention. I had so much stuff going on, man.
Ron our testicles is here.
Wow. Ron our testicles. Our
Testicles. Sorry, I
That might
didn't
be
want
my
to say it out loud.
fantasy basketball name this year.
That's going to be your fantasy basketball name this year?
Yeah, or Luka Doncic.
Wow. This is your weekly edition of Road Trippin. Having said that, you know what to do. Drop us a podcast review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Hit that subscribe button. Follow us on X, Twitter. No, that's the same thing. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok.
It's
What are all the
X.
social apps? Text. Is that what you
No,
said?
it's X, not Twitter. It's X,
Yeah.
TikTok, Facebook.
Who does Facebook? Do you guys do Facebook?
No,
Okay.
But
I have a
Facebook.
Facebook page. But I never logged in.
oh yeah,
Oh.
I got a couple.
It's kind of
You
weird.
should have one of your children run it. That would be fun.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
We're off to a great start here. Allie can't read and Channing can't spell. So Jesus take the wheel. Kendrick Perkins will be leading the way today. Rich is still overseas, but I just got a call that he might be making a cameo for us. So having said all of that, this is, I think, going to be a fun episode because there's not a whole lot going on in the NBA, like X's and O's, the stuff that we're used to. We're in the thick, THICC of August. So we're going to bounce around the internet. And we're going to play a little bit of Did You See, to see what you've seen, see what you haven't seen, and see what happens. We've got John Wall's retirement. There's still it's still applicable to basketball. We've got the Giannis slap. Kyrie's farming plans, which we have an awesome tie to this conversation. And we got a whole lot more. So let's have a little fun with this. But before, I'm actually going to do this part now at the very front. Do you guys have anything that you want to discuss before I start throwing some fun at you?
Not really. Other than listen, I'm going to reiterate this. I hear these stories about old players coming to the game drunk and still getting 30 points. When did we make that cool?
Wait, I need to be educated. What are we talking about?
Okay, so this is not me saying anything bad. I'm just more like, isn't that the opposite of what we've been told? So All the Smoke, great podcast, Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson just had Craig Hodges, right? And then they told the story about Jordan going to the bar before the game and then getting 30. But like, isn't that counterproductive of like what you want everyone else to do? Is to like not do that, right?
Right. I think it's just them telling their story of what the league was back then. And you're right. You could tell your story, but again, we're trying to clean shit up, right? I wish we had these rules when I was playing that now, NBA players could smoke weed during the season. Oh, what a fucking luxury. what I used to go through the regular season without being able to smoke and worry about drug tests. Now you get to blow that loud. Fuck yeah. Right? I have no problem with that because one thing I do know is that when you smoke weed, you're going to sit your ass down. Weed has that effect on you that be like, I was thinking about going here. I was thinking about going out. Nah, fuck that. I chill in my room and order room service type shit. You ready for what's been on my mind? So my kids started school, my
Oh,
two
shoot.
oldest. I got a problem.
Uh-oh.
I got a problem. If you have plans, because one of my kids is a junior, the other is going to the 8th grade, okay? If you have plans on playing basketball past high school at any level, regular public school is not the fucking answer. It's not the answer. Times are different. They're wasting 3 hours of their day doing shit at that school that's not benefiting them, and they're getting behind the 8 ball. Okay, here's why I say that. Athletes around the country, in the United States right now, those top tier players, the ones that are taking basketball serious, they are either in homeschool or prep school. Marcus Spears' son, who was just named the #1 player in the country, Swaggle, his son goes to Jermaine O'Neal's school. Jermaine O'Neal has a prep school in Dallas that his son went to. By the way, his son is at SMU now, full ride, okay? And so here's my thing. Instead of the fucking science, social studies, out here they do Texas history. No. Math, reading, fucking writing. The other part of your days need to be dedicated to working on your craft. Because if you're not, you're going to be behind in the game of basketball. The game is changing, people. If you want your kid to be to play at any level past high school, the preparation starts right now. Meaning you gotta have some hard, tough decisions. Now, the great part about it, my two sons actually go to Legacy. Legacy High School is somewhat like a prep school, right? It's nothing but coaches there. Their coaches are their teachers. They're working out 2 to 3 times a day and after school. So they're getting everything and more, right? Every coach, every teacher that's there either played at a collegiate level or a professional level. Cool. But to the ones that's out there now, and not just in America, right? We know Luka, all those people that's in, all those young players, the young Pascal Siakams and Giannis's and the Victor Wembanyambas, the Wembys. I just saw a 13-year-old out there that's 6'8" in Paris that they just put on social media. And I guarantee you, he's not in school for 7 to 8 hours a fucking day. He's training. You have to get with it or you're going to get left behind.
All right, I'm going to play devil's advocate. If you can't wake up in the morning, get your work done, go to school, go to practice, and do it the old school way, how can you do it? You're not I believe you're not going to become a well-rounded person. Now listen, first 2 years you can go to regular school. If you're nice like that, then do what everyone else is doing and moving their kids to these prep schools. But to go 4 years of prep school where your whole value as a human being is basketball is semi-dangerous for a kid to grow up. I think it's dangerous.
Wow.
Why should they not?
Don't just say it's dangerous without adding context behind it. Why?
I'm saying that's dangerous for their personality because all these young kids are dealing with mental health because their whole value is basketball. They've never had, I like science or I like art. I've never had a chance to spend time on that. It's only basketball. So that's where they find their value. Man, listen, I'm just saying why all these young kids are having mental health issues. First 2 years, when you're 16, 17, if you're nice like that, they are going to find you. and you will be able to go where you need to go. To just send somebody who's in 6th grade to school, I just don't agree with that. I personally don't.
Well, answer this. How much fucking science and art do you use in a day or in a year? No, I said that you use, not in mile and go and bought and go and buy. How much do you use in your everyday life?
I actually like art, so that's
Can
different.
I just step in here really quick? And I will say, because it's funny, I before I became a sports broadcaster, I did 3.5 years at the University of Toledo, thinking that I was going to be a math and science teacher 4 to 9. I realized I come from a family full of administrators and teachers. My father just retired after 42 years as an administrator in a public school.
Congrats.
I say all this to say, I just came across a meme where what actually drove me to not become an educator, after a lot of other things as well, but I didn't try. I finished a Calc 4 exam, one problem that took me 2.5 hours. I walked across campus after I turned it in, and I changed my major, my final semester of undergrad. I say all that to say, I just saw a meme the other day that was like, well, there goes another day of me not using the quadratic formula. Fair. You guys probably couldn't even tell me what the quadratic formula is. Well, I say all that to say, I still think there, to Channing's point, there are life lessons. There are things that can be taught within the education system. Whether you choose that to be from a homeschooling situation, whether you choose that to be from a private school, a public school, I would struggle to as well to just say, fuck school. Or let's lean into just becoming maybe like a one-dimensional. And I'm trying to articulate this the best way, Perk, because I understand what you're saying. I just don't think every kid out there will end up being exactly who he thinks or making it to the league. And so I think there's a fine balance. And again, I say this from not a parent space, but just maybe my experience from that side of things as to the benefit and still finding that appreciation of going to school.
Okay, so Allie, I don't.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
Went to the NBA from high school,
and that's what I'm saying.
4 years of college, so there is 2 different ways to get there. They changed the rule on Perk, right? I think he was one of the. I think my year or the year before me was the last year of high school kids going. So he is absolutely right that kids do need to, if they need that, go there. But I'm also right to saying some kids need to go to regular school for a year or 2 and then say, okay, now I'm turning into a young man. Then you go put them in that situation where they already have friends. They already have some internal value for themselves.
Right. No, and look, I'm talking about if you invest into your kids right now, right? I'm not, fuck the pros, right? If they don't make the pros, fuck the.
They reload the snacks every time in this hotel.
Yeah,
What's up, y'all?
they reload the snacks every time. That's what.
There they go.
Sup.
But
Sup.
but what I'm saying is,
what are you saying, Big Perk?
Yeah,
For those of you that are on the audio side, Richard has joined with his children to this conversation.
It's all good. Perfect timing. What's up, nephews? Perfect timing. Here's the thing. This is what
I'm live right now.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying if you invest into your kids right now, if they don't make it to the pros, they can make it just to college and secure their future, come out of college as millionaires, right? And so why I'm saying this is because I'm watching. I went away from the AAU basketball for an entire year. I just went back on the circuit this summer for about 2-3 tournaments. I went down and I'm seeing these kids and I'm saying, it made me switch my mindset. I said, you know what, Kingston, we got work to do, brother. We're behind the 8 ball. We're behind the 8 ball, right? If you're one of these superior athletes in your class in the 8th grade, we're behind the 8 ball. I'm watching these children at these AAU tournaments, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. The 7th and 8th graders have professional bodies. They're getting professional training, right? They're getting to that level of like, hey, bro, and all of them are in homeschool or going to a prep school. Here's my thing. Okay, cool. If you do want to send them in a regular school, it's certain hours of the day that are being wasted.
So
If you're going, like for example, the school that my sons go to, Legacy,
no man.
they have a media class, by the way, that I'm going to speak at next week. So they have the cameras in there. They have somebody that done the media space locally, coming in, teaching, learning how to podcast, learning how to use the equipment, learning certain things. They're at the games, they're filming. So you're getting that. If not, if it's like science, social studies, how about being in there teaching how to repair a air conditioning unit, right? Or being a carpenter, or being a plumber.
Go ahead,
Do
Trey.
something productive. I'm in the mindset, and I know this may piss a lot of people off. I'm in the mindset of raising my kids, not just to, if they don't make it in sports, I want them to have a mindset in this world being an entrepreneur. We're going away from the whole go get you a degree, come out of college, and you have this degree, but you struggle for another 3 to 4 years to find a fucking job. No. When you could take these classes in school, we're just learning this. You could take certain classes while you're in high school as a carpenter and a plumber that take 2 years to get your certification, and you come out making your with your own bid. They start you off, you'll go get hired, you making 6 figures. By the time you finish, learning it, working on a few people houses as an electrician or whatever you may want to be, next thing you know, you own your own company. If you live in Houston, Texas, last thing, if you live in Houston, Texas, and you own your own air conditioning company, you're a fucking multi-millionaire. My AC go out every summer. It's so hot out there.
Got him one. They got him one.
Nah, they got everybody. I'm just saying, bro, my mind have shifted.
So basically,
the
you want to
old
make
school
sure that
system.
the hours spent of your children in school are going to be utilized on things that they can use out in life if they're not going to make it in
Yeah, that's
as a
and that's
professional athlete.
and Perk, that's the same message people have been saying forever. They don't teach taxes, but they'll teach calculus, right? It's like they don't
We were
teach
just
that
talking
still.
about, can
They
you give the quadratic formula, Rich?
I never knew the quadratic formula. I had a 40-inch vert. I was looking
For
at
those kids, though, that will not make it to the NBA. For those kids that
if you can get a college scholarship with college being almost $100,000 a year, right? That like college being 7,500K a year. If you can get a college scholarship, I don't care if it's D1, D2, D3, but also put yourself in a position to succeed outside of college. What are you going to do? But I think those messages have always kind of flowed differently depending on like the economic situation. You don't have to raise your hand. You got a question?
No, I just doing that.
You're just doing this? Okay, so I do it and you do it. But Perk, to your point, they say like in this, what is it, 6-8 hours kids are in school. It's like there's only 4 hours learning. Half of that is the transition between classes, the recesses, the snacks, the lunch period, all of that stuff. And again, even the transportation. That's why people have often said in the last 10 years that basketball has become more of a wealthy person sport, because people that do have the resources and the finance, I'm going to homeschool my kids for those 4 hours. It's going to be 1-on-1 or 2-on-1. They're going to get high level education. They're going to be able to pass all the tests. And then I can have them go train their sport for multiple hours after that.
see, Perk, that's the point. There's still a value to some form of.
Yeah, so I said we're both right.
Yeah,
I said we're both right.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be the full length of the day, like you were saying.
No,
but there's
who they
still a
kicking it with other than
benefit
their
to
teammates?
education.
You know what I'm saying?
And let me go to this point quickly. I did say if you're trying to take basketball serious, right? Like if you're trying to play basketball and get to the college level or professional level, like it's the trend. Like one trend is homeschool, prep school. Again, I brought up Swagoo's son. I brought up Jermaine O'Neal, who opened up his school down there in Dallas, right? Like those kids are training, right? Throughout the course of school. Yes, they're getting their curriculum, but they're training. Okay, cool. The next step of it is that it's more of a battle because my son is considered Kingston 2030, right? So when they say 2030, they based on the year that they're going to graduate. Right, so he graduates in 2030. So in AAU terms, he's in class of 2030. when I went 2 years ago, 2030, right? It was a popular class, but now all of a sudden I'm seeing more and more American kids in 2030 because they didn't reclass from 2029 to 2030. That's how serious this. It's not right.
but also how old is Kingston?
He's about to be 14.
This is what I'm saying. There's going to be another 30 kids that hit puberty and grow 6 inches and bodies develop. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think the rating of 13, 12s, and you can't rate somebody No, not talking about you.
them.
I'm not talking about ranking. Let me phrase this. I'm saying when they start ranking kids that are 12 and 13 before they even hit their growth spurts, it's like, I was, 5'11" at 14. I was 6'5" at 15. So it's like now all of a sudden it's like no one ever heard he is again Anthony Davis. So a lot of this stuff early on is how much skill and technique that you can teach your kids as they get older. Now when they hit their growth spurts, when their bodies develop, when they do that, the reclassification of all of that stuff. I think the reclassification at some point in time, if you really want your kid to make it, he's going to have to play against grown men. So I graduated high school at 17. If you want your kid to graduate high school almost at 19, so he looks like he's a top 10 kid, well, when he actually plays against 19s, he's going to look like a top 50 kid. So it's just like, however you want to hide it eventually, right, is the same in AAU. People get mad. Well, this is supposed to be 15s versus 15s, and that kid doesn't look like he's 15. But as soon as they go to high school, they're playing 14s through 18s. Yeah. Right. So it's like you want to complain about that in an AAU, which again, rules are rules. I'm not tripping on that. But at the end of the day, your son or daughter is going to be playing against high school seniors or people that are 19 years old. But when you go to the summer, you're like, well, I want to see them against their age group. It's like, I could care less about the age group. Put them against the best that they possibly can.
Kingston's playing varsity this year at Legacy as an 8th grader. Varsity.
That's crazy.
Ooh, that's nuts.
They don't hold you back. He's playing varsity as an 8th grader this year.
Okay, yes.
Little Rich, Phoenix, do you guys want to go to school?
Yeah.
Oh,
Richard, are you growing your mustache out?
No, I just haven't shaved.
That's what I was trying to tell her. Trying to tell Daddy. I'm like,
to grow it. You said you're going to be my what? What is it?
Makeup artist.
He's going to be my makeup artist.
Tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said I was going to turn him into a princess.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
that's amazing. Hang on,
Yes,
before
sir.
you two go, I
Long
think you guys would
stuff.
enjoy this clip. Before you two go, I think you'd enjoy this clip. We'll go into this. We're playing, have you seen what's going on around the internet, Rich, on this episode?
No.
Because it's August and not a lot's going on in the NBA.
No.
Did you guys see how China welcomed Curry? Obviously, Rich and his kiddos are in London right now, and
No.
Steph is in China right now for his training camp world tour. We're going to play it right here.
Oh. What?
Wow. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Those are drones.
Wait, those are drones?
Not joking. Those are like on buildings.
No, it is.
No,
He
they're
was
drones.
welcomed with a crazy drone and light show.
Look at that.
That's crazy.
That's the legend.
Is that a Pokemon?
That's nuts. That's nuts.
That is
That's
wild.
the-
So,
Yes.
yeah. What do you guys think of that?
That's pretty cool.
I think that's cool.
Crazy.
I'm gonna throw a stray for no reason when people talk about NFL is so big in the United States. It's like, oh, that's cool. You ever gone to China and seen a drone show when Steph shows up?
Dude, that's crazy that people can do that now. We're screwed.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Well,
that
you
just
see them at
happened.
concerts. You see it at concerts. You see it at events. You see like
Yeah,
the
but
drone
like
shows. But
that,
that's next level.
that's
like
nutty.
well, they're the head of technology. They got all that
Like
stuff.
you were gonna
got all
say
that-
they invented technology.
No, I was gonna say like they invented a lot of that stuff. Like their technology game is high.
So it takes us to this. LeBron is planning a $5 billion Formula One style touring league. And the NBA is eyeing Mexico City and European expansion. And baseball just dropped hits this week about expansion.
Yes.
More,
Portland.
is more
getting a
basketball
team.
better, more teams better, or is this a bubble that will burst? Thoughts?
Wait, the bubble that would burst on basketball expansion?
Just the whole idea of everything that's happening.
Oh, well, this is I think we're in the final push of capitalism. Let's grab as much money as we can as quickly as we can. And so if one's expanding, they're all expanding. It's true. Show me that I'm wrong. So no, I think basketball should expand. I think NFL should expand, but you also think about like how many players that they have, the cap on really where you can go and what you can do. Basketball, because it is an international sport, there are people playing the sport. Yeah, the NFL can put a team in Germany, you could put a team in London, and you can grow, but ultimately no one from here is playing that sport. That's the difference. And baseball's played all around the world, right? Baseball, you see the influences, you have Shohei Ohtani, Ichiro just went into the Hall of Fame a few years ago. He was one of the greatest baseball players of all time. So you look at the international influence in baseball, especially you look at the Dominicans throughout the South, Puerto Rico. But in basketball, yeah, we got players playing all around the world. They're playing on 6 continents. They're playing basketball on 6 continents. The only one they're not, Antarctica. And put a hoop up there, somebody will start playing. Polar bears start playing some basketball.
What are these facial expressions?
Who mine?
Yeah.
From the conversation that we just had.
I know. I knew that was
You
coming.
damn right from the conversation.
You look as skinny, Perk, and I think that's why she can notice your facial expressions now, because it's
Rich, that's rude. We had a full-on, genuine heart-to-heart moment with Perk last week. He has people out here tagging us because they're inspired and motivated. They're pushing freaking carts up hills.
No, I'm here too. I can see his cheekbones now. You looking more and more like Morris Chestnut, bro. You looking more like Morris Chestnut now.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying you can see your facial expressions now. I've never heard anybody say face. Why Perk? Why the facial expression?
Perk, I'm with you. I still think that
you okay, Channing?
A few hours in school, but I'm with you.
Are you okay, Channing? Are you okay?
I'm okay. That's very funny.
I get you every now and then. All right, I love you guys. I gotta go.
And then he just drops, and then
I gotta go. No, but all kidding aside, I fly back home at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So
Go eat your bangers and mash.
Yeah, I've already had it.
I can't believe you guys didn't roast him more for the facial hair. First of all,
what did you say? I didn't what?
I can't believe you guys didn't roast him more.
Nah. It's not even facial hair. It's just unshaven face.
Oh my God.
Okay, get out of here.
Okay, bye, Richard.
I've never liked any of you.
It's a lie.
But the global goes to my point. You better
you are making a point about school not being important.
No.
As the other side to your argument.
I'm just saying, because look, Allie, that's another side of it. The competition is not just in America anymore. Like we don't know the system and what they're doing over there in Africa, right? We know Masai Ujiri is on the way right now, building a big ass gym. I know they training their asses off. I know there's another Luka and Wemby that's been in the gym, been playing professional. All I'm saying, one, yes, is it great for the league? I believe so. Steph Curry just proved, like, that's why I say it's levels to this. When we start using the word like superstar and like Steph and Brian, like that just proved to me like they're mega stars. Like that welcoming with that shit, like that was unreal. Like that's when you a mega star. Like, yeah, you iconic. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna dive back into it. I think it's great for all these leagues. I applaud Braun and Math, for even coming up with the idea, because I do believe it's a lot of hoopers out there that won't make it to the NBA, but need other outlets to go and play in and make a good living. And for them to start that league, the tour league or whatever, that's a great deal. Just like with the big three, retired players, Ice Cube, they're able to go still hoop, still able to make some money, you know what I'm saying, and still showcase they shit. I believe more and more leagues that we have give other people opportunities that are talented but just never got to that next level.
Let me ask you this. What comes first, Super Bowl outside the U.S. or an NBA Finals in your mind?
Oh, NBA Finals.
Facts.
NBA Finals in Mexico City. I could see Mexico City right now is hot in the streets. Everybody that's gone has been like, this is the best vacation. Clean, beautiful. They felt safe. The food is great. The whether you're single and go with buddies, or whether you're older and you want to go look at art, the history, and just realizing how big. See how I threw that
There's
in?
art again.
You see how I threw that in there. Yeah, they're saying that's, and I just think, you look at expansion. I don't think that these expansion teams were back in the day, getting, expansion teams would water down the competition. I think there's enough room in these two cities. These GMs of those, like whether it is Vegas and Seattle for basketball, especially, there's enough people to go get some solid teams, especially with the youth growing up.
By the way, shout out NBA Buckets, because you were the one that inspired him, Perk. He's the one that's very loyal to the Road Trippin shows, and he's the one pushing carts up and out there working out because of you.
That was his baby, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a stroller.
He was pushing a child? I missed
think that
that
was
part.
if I'm not
Dear God.
mistaken, I think that was a stroller with his baby in it. He was pushing up the hill.
Good
If I'm
for
not
him.
mistaken.
Good for him. All right, we're heading on to the next. Did you guys see John Wall retired? I do cool, obviously, there for John Wall. He's 34. He announced his retirement. 13 seasons spent in the NBA. He is joining the NBA on Prime Family as an analyst in studio. So he'll be alongside Blake, Dirk, D-Wade, Nash, Candace, Taylor Rooks, of course, when he says that he's still sticking around the game. So that's exciting for him. Congratulations to John Wall. I kind of want to dive into, there was like some memories in there. That's why I was kind of like, let's watch this. I know you guys haven't forgotten about who he was and the kind of player he was on the floor, but most underrated superstar of the 2010s in your mind, John Wall? 5-time All-Star, 23-11 in 2017.
His career was derailed by injuries. Like, I felt like soon as we were just about to see the best version of John Wall, like he started dealing with injuries, right? Like he never got back to himself again. Always been a fan of his, the way that he competed. He was a guy that competed with pride. When you talk about healthy, at one point it was him and Russell Westbrook that were the like two fastest guys with the basketball from north to south, right? Or south to north, however you want to say it, right? And so what he done, like he made the Wizards, he had the Wizards relevant for a while, right? Like he had them relevant, he had them rocking, and again, because of injuries, which is part of the game, and it's unfortunate, I still think that we were on the verge of seeing the best of John Wall. Now, we'll applaud him for retiring because I actually been waiting for him the last 2 years to go ahead and announce it because I know he's been, trying to get back in the league, trying to get on the roster. And I know how hard it is to retire when you retire not on your terms. When you retire because that damn phone stopped ringing, right? But I've been watching John Wall for a minute on podcasts. I watched him on NBA TV. I thought he was, the way he delivered, his knowledge. I was like, bruh, I know it's hard. And I know you like, but I still could, I'm saying this and I still could give some minutes. And like, nah, bro, like it's the hardest thing in the world. I went through a depression for about a year and a half. But when you finally walk away from the game and announce your retirement, it's so difficult. I applaud him because his next chapter is going to be pretty damn good. I'm a big fan of what he brings to the table from a basketball analyst side of things. I just know throughout these years, it wasn't an easy transition.
Yeah, he's done a really good job being on TV. Like you could tell he's a true hooper, like just loves basketball, the way he sees the game. I think one thing we get enamored with speed, but like John Wall was a true point guard. And that is one thing I don't think anybody brings up because he was athletic. They thought he was like this combo guard, but John Wall was out there like just getting everyone involved. I mean, you look at like Marcin Gortat, loves the guy, right? Gortat, I played with him in Phoenix, loves the guy. And it was like, dude, he's one of my favorite guards I've ever played with. And he played with Steve Nash. And then I also think John Wall made Washington relevant, right? It was like And that's hard to do on a team, is like through the ups and downs of building and roster construction and different coaches, you're always like, all right, well, you got to come to play because this one dude is going to go crazy on you if you don't. So that type of respect I will. And to really answer your question, I think Blake Griffin is the most underrated guy of the 2010s. Now, here's why. Nobody remembers him in Detroit, where he was an all-star. It was cooking. We always remember and always bring up either like, Doc Rivers going 3-1, losing those games, or they're underachieving at times. But like him as a person, as a player, was a problem. And then when he evolved that little jab glass bank shot where you couldn't give him some space, dude, then it got even worse. But I think John Wall's great. I just think to be underrated, that no one talks about, that was dynamic, that took the league over, is Blake Griffin. He was a
Was
problem.
John ever a top 5 player
No.
Who, John Wall?
during his time?
No.
He was a top 5 point guard.
Oh,
during
point
his
guard,
time.
yes.
Yeah, but not
Okay.
not player. But it was just too much going on at that time, man. You had you still looking at Tim Duncan, Cole, Braun, KG,
Dirk.
Dirk.
There's nothing light about a 5-time All-Star averaging 23 and 11. There's so to your point, yeah, you put him in a category of point
He was
guard
top 5. He was
standpoint.
top 5 for sure. I remember when he came out and he was like, one year he was like, I'm the fastest guard in the league. And I was in Oklahoma City and Russ was like, oh, he got me fucked up. And we played them like, and I've never seen, Russ was one of them ones where like, he would put in his head something about the guy he was playing against and go at him. And it was like, what the fuck? He went out like a fucking maniac, but it was just a little fun competitive thing. And they used to compete their asses off because both of them had that like that during that time, like I'm him now, motherfucker. I'm him between him and John Wall, so it was cool. I got to experience that tension.
The one thing I've always loved about Road Trippin is that it offers an opportunity to have a little story time. And I can't help but now ask the question in light of retirement conversation. People don't always understand or know that it doesn't just happen whenever you guys want it to happen, that it can be out of your control. You guys both have retirement stories.
Everybody don't get a Dirk, D-Wade, Kobe,
C.
Braun. Everybody.
Channing got one? Channing, you got a freaking tour?
I did.
What you mean you got one?
What? Hey, I got 3 videos. I retired halfway through the season.
That's it? You played all them games with 3 videos? Fuck.
That's it. I'm on the bench.
Look,
that's all I wanted. No, 4. Because we had already played New York and it was halfway through the season. I got 4.
That's what's up. But everybody don't get that, Allie. Like,
yeah.
My shit, the way I told the story about Dale Demps, and like I was on that motherfucker where I had to go to the G League, and then all of a sudden I got on the Cavs and my phone wasn't ringing, and it's like, Perk, motherfucker agent like, bruh, like what you gonna do? I'm like, shit, I want to try to be an assistant, man. Coach, I went to the combine, had a couple offers, and then all of a sudden I'm here. But it's not easy though. Like the mental, because this is all you've been knowing your entire life, Allie. Like it's the only thing you fucking know. That's even the thing.
History.
Like Braun.
I was just gonna say it's because you didn't go to school, Perk. I'm just
Braun, does Braun have love for the game of basketball? I'm off all of y'all today. No, I'm just fucking with y'all. Does Braun have love for the game of basketball? Absolutely. But Braun been doing this shit since the age of fucking 12. Like, do you know how hard it's gonna be from him to walk away from the game of basketball? Like, but he gets to do it on his own terms. I didn't do that. That shit sends you into a fucking depression. I didn't want to go outside. You know why? Because I didn't want to go outside and go places where people be like, oh, Perk, who you with now? Nobody. I'm just working out, waiting on the call. Like, I ain't want to answer those questions.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Channing, you had 4 videos. You announced your retirement halfway through that season.
Yeah. So long story short, I got traded to the Lakers. Thought I was going to be on the Lakers. Didn't work out. And then I was there and Corver and Kevin and Tristan and them, Swish, called and were like, yo, do you want to come back here? And I was like, hell yeah. Like, let's try to go make it to the playoffs and show we could be a good team. Kevin got hurt that year. I think they shut us down after 6 games. They gave it to the young fellas. And, for me, obviously with my parents passing away a couple years before that, I was trying to figure out what was important. And I said, really, I remember I was at a game. I was at the Garden and I'm looking around and we're getting our ass beat. And I'm like, it's a waste of my fucking time. I was literally looking around and said, what the hell am I doing here right now? Like, I don't want to babysit these little kids. And it's not like they were bad guys, right? So I'm saying that more to be funny. But like, for me, I always wanted to walk away when the love of basketball went from like, oh, let's win this game to now it's more teaching. Now it's explaining, right? Now I'm sitting with the coaching staff more. When that switched over, I said, you know what? I got to walk away. And I was like, I want to walk away and not be told. So I literally was like, I didn't even tell my wife. I got on Instagram and basically was like, man, that's crazy. That's my last time ever going to the Garden. And everyone's like, Channing, did you just announce your retirement like in the middle of the season? And I was like, yep. In Cleveland, I will say this. Fucking the best. Every road trip, they were like, Channing, what you want? I was like, I'll just take a couple bottles of wine. I'll sit here with my boys. Bloop. What games do you want to play? Nope. But I stayed in shape, right? And then, me and Dan, Big Dan, and this is my little thing on the side. Stop working the young guys out before the game. Have them work out before shoot around or after shoot around so that they get hours of sleep and can approach the game like a regular player. I hate when teams do that. You got a dude running stairs, doing these 2-hour-long workouts, and somebody gets hurt, and then you like, oh, what's wrong with you? Bitch, I done 16 workouts already today. Stop doing that. Do it earlier, and then let them go to the game and lift afterwards. But that was my thing.
And you don't have enough room on the floor. Guys got to get their pregame shots. You sharing one side of the floor. Watch the ball. Watch your ankles. Watch all this. Like,
it's stupid. And then people ain't getting the right sleep. But anyways,
that was the smartest thing you've ever said since I've been knowing you.
I appreciate it. But anyways, I retired, and you know what? Like, there were certain places that I didn't, realize that like I had made an impact. Now, Steve Kerr is my guy. Like, obviously, he traded for me when I was going to Phoenix, and just been a big OG whenever I needed advice or something. Gave me a little video, and it was kind of funny that Golden State gave me a video. Right. Some of it was funny. Some of it was like, dude, we appreciated, playing you. Obviously Portland. And then, man, it was kind of awesome to see it from that perspective. I got opportunities to go to different places. But I wanted to do this, what we're doing now. And then it's been 6 years. And so now I'm like, free agent. I get to do this as much as I want. And kind of figure out who I am. But yeah, that first 6 months, 8 months without basketball, without having a schedule was the worst. It was like, I did get a lot of the, what are you doing now? And I tried to hurry and rush and, sign with NBA TV and all these other places so that I add value. Right. So I was like, oh, no, I'm retired, but I work for them. No, I'm retired, but I didn't have to tell anybody. I don't know what's happening. Now I tell people I do it the F I won't.
That you do, and we live under it. Having said all of that, let's keep the Cleveland theme rolling. I love those stories because they are your own, which has been our motto. Nobody tells our stories better than us. Wow, look at that, Allie. Great segue. Kyrie.
It was.
Pat myself on the back. Did you guys see the Kyrie Irving streams? Now, buckle up for this because I'm going to tie it all back to our Cleveland days in 2017. But Kyrie Irving, Twitch, let's fucking go. From announcing he's going back to Duke for his degree, to giving away $50K on a stream, to become the biggest farmers ever.
Oh, God.
I want you guys to watch this clip. of his thoughts.
A healthy life is the best life. I know being healthy is expensive nowadays and inflation and things of that nature, but that's why I'm building towards becoming one of the biggest farmers ever. Like, I'm just gonna put it out there, one of the biggest farmers ever. I want to be able to supply food and groceries to the world in the best way I can and create small holistic wellness villages and where people can retire, people can give birth, women could give birth safely, and don't have to worry about all the taxing on their body and all the stress. Families can, grow and build. And, I'm more into agriculture than I am to other things too, and I'm just trying to find that audience and community that will help me. I'm trying to find farmers in Jersey, trying to find farmers in LA, trying to find farmers in Texas, trying to find a lot of agricultural specialists and experts so I can learn how to grow food.
Okay. I want to say this. You guys have played with Kyrie in Cleveland. Channing, you won a championship with Kyrie. My first year in the NBA covering, I spent 6 seasons in Cleveland, was Kyrie's second season, all the way until he left and went to Boston. We launched Road Trippin in January of 2017. That year, we were in Toronto recording Road Trippin. And Kyrie brought up this thought.
Oh, yeah.
This was in 2017. Okay. So as you hear about it right now on his Twitch in 2025, he said at that time he wants to create a self-sustaining community that would live off a giant piece of farmland he plans to buy with his fortune. Okay. He was entering at that time, he was 25 years old, entering his 3rd season of his $94 million contract extension with the Cavs. Said he and unnamed others are in fact already working on his plan to, in essence, build an Epcot-style future world in which a select few can live healthy lifestyles without having to pay for it. His thought right here: we're just working on a plan where ultimately we can accomplish that on a grander scale of a lot of acres, farmable land, and basically buy that land and start building our own damn community. I say that to say I remember sitting there. This is a guy who just won a championship, the skill, the potential, not even to his prime yet. And he is talking about buying land. And I remember just being hush. Like, did he know what is happening? Here we are years later, and it sounds like he is more truer than true into something that he's very passionate about. I think when it's all said and done for Kyrie, there's been other comments. The flat earth comment happened on our podcast. Him believing that people around him thought that he would be the Lauryn Hill of the NBA. Do you remember that? I think that was on the same exact podcast, Channing.
Oh, yeah.
There is one. How do you guys think, when it's all said and done, the game for Kyrie, he will be remembered most? Or when you hear these thoughts, what goes through your mind?
No.
ahead,
I
Channing.
think Kyrie has always been Kyrie, right? It's just even he's acknowledged the maturity of how he's expressed it. He's been doing these streams and expressing his feelings in a way that's come from maturity, age, the ups and downs of life, having more kids, getting married, doing all these things where now he's saying it not like, oh, I'm doing this because I'm better than you guys or I have the money to do it. He's like, I'm doing this because it's going to make me happy. Like, it's more fulfilling. It's the other half of the glass, right? Like, Kyrie always has basketball. This always stays like this. He is searching for this. Now, that there's some vulnerability to that, right? As you've seen over the years, his search of knowledge is sometimes upsetting to other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he learns.
Yep.
But to me, one thing I respect the shit out of Kyrie about is that his main thing was finding his happiness for his people. It may not look how yours looks. Yours might be, you want to own a bunch of Waffle Houses. His is trying to make some tempeh and tofu burgers, underneath a yurt, smoking, a joint, drinking mushroom juice. Like, it's just different. But his consistency is what the hell I respect.
Yeah.
Especially because he does not have to encourage the young people love him. Young people love him. And this is going to sound wild, he unlocking a part of their brain where it's cool now, where they're like, well, if Kyrie likes agriculture, maybe I need to go to school and learn how to garden. Maybe I need to learn how to do woodwork. So, for me, I appreciate him. We need the
Mhm.
NBA needs more of that. I think if people knew Mark Gasol, he's a huge gardener. Like he has
Yep.
a huge garden. There are a lot of players who don't speak up about what they do outside the court where Kyrie does. So I appreciate that. The basketball part we don't even need to mention because he is exactly who he is out there, a champion and one of the most skilled players I've ever seen
The
in my life.
the most skilled player to ever play the game of basketball. And I'm not even about to dive into details. The
About
most
to
skilled player.
dive in it.
Yeah, the most
Yeah.
skilled player. Now, if you want to learn how to farm, just come holler at me. I show them how to grow cucumbers, tomatoes. I show them how to kill a chicken in 30 minutes, have it ready to cook. You know what I'm saying? I show them a whole
Man,
lot
it
of
takes you
things.
30
But
minutes to kill a chicken?
and have it ready to cook for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you just
You
snapped
got
his neck. You just
no, that's not just how. That's not how. First, you don't snap his neck like that. You wring his neck, right, and then you put him face down in the bucket.
Oh,
You
yeah.
let him suffocate because if you
Wait, what are
wring
we
his
talking
neck,
about? What animal?
a chicken.
Ugh.
So if you wring the neck and you drop it, the chicken will still take off running with his neck broke. So you got to have a bucket there, drop it face first so it could suffocate. You have a big pot of boiling water that's scorching hot
Oh,
with a
to get the
table,
things off.
with a table with newspaper. You grab it by the neck, you dip it in there a few times in the hot water, you put it on the table, and then you start to take the feathers off, and they come right on off. They come on right on off, and then you get the cutting, slice down the middle, you take the guts out, you do your thing. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do
Sounds
it.
good.
That is why this podcast is called Road Trippin. You're going to get a little bit of everything. Channing, did you not know that chickens can run around with their head cut off? You knew that's where that line came from, right?
I didn't know. I've seen my grandpa grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and that Richard, God, what's wrong with him? And
Speaking of weirdo.
he like, give me that. We got a bunch of grandkids. He was like, give me these, and the dude came, put it through a machine.
Yeah, but
There you
when you're farming and you're out there, like, you don't have machines. You
I
know what
know
I'm
it.
saying? Like, that was my duty, that was my job, my chores around the house. We ate chicken Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Man, get you a
And we-
fish,
Mix it up.
motherfucker.
and I
Get
got
you a
and I
fish.
got and I got pork chops on Sunday. All right,
Okay.
but the thing is, I applaud him. Because
Yeah.
the one thing about Kyrie is that he's done it his way, right? And he stayed true to, like Channing said. You know who else I applaud? The Dallas Mavericks.
Oh yeah.
And the reason being is because relationships matter. Like Nico and Kyrie, like, one could argue, this is no knock on Cleveland, this is no knock on Boston or Brooklyn. One could say this is the happiest that Kyrie Irving has ever been in his career
For sure.
with an organization. When they first got there, and Dallas is smart, because if you want the best version of Kyrie Irving on the floor, allow Kyrie Irving to be who he is off the floor. So when he's going through that season of Ramadan, they have a special room for him to go and do his thing, whether they're at home or on the road. You see he's been more of a vocal leader. Hey, Kyrie, you want to be on Twitch and you want to speak your mind? We have no problem with it. Long as we're going to get the best version of you, and that's going to unlock the best version of you, I'm okay with it. And a lot of other franchises, they need to take notes, because that's what it's been the entire since NBA was started, and especially with the Hall of Famers that I fucking played with. We know that KG ass was gonna be late to every plane, an hour, but he was gonna come and he was gonna give us the 20, 10, and 5, okay? And he was gonna bring Root Chris every single time for the entire plane. So be late, big fella. I couldn't do the shit, right? So you hear
Medium rare.
yeah, but what I'm saying is, you hear the stories about a doc allowing Kawhi to be late to the plane, and he had a helicopter bringing him and shit like that. That's just part of it. When you're the fucking franchise guy, you get special treatment, and you're supposed to get them special treatment because you want them to be the best version of their fucking selves.
Look,
So kudos to the Mavs.
you said partnership. Use that word because I think there was a lot of growth and maturing on Kyrie's end that he took upon himself to do and get through. And now
I
you're
agree.
seeing this level of Kyrie beating to his own drum, as he always has, excuse me. Go check out that episode. It was in 2017. It really is a good episode. I even think that you would see the growth of Channing and I from then to now.
Oh
I think
yeah.
Channing was eating
Y'all
ramen
still petty
during that
as
episode.
hell.
All right, I'm gonna let you guys choose. We have time for one more topic. I'm gonna give 2 names and you tell me which one you want to go to close out this episode. Giannis or Kuminga? Richard, go away.
Honestly, the Giannis thing is pretty funny, but holy hell, hey.
Okay, let's watch the clip. That's where we're going.
Hold on. But the last time I seen somebody get their head smacked like that,
Let's watch the clip. Let's watch the clip.
No one knows what you're talking.
See, Mr. Want to go to school? Listening skills. Look at it.
hell no.
Okay, so what's going on here? Giannis got caught slapping his Greece teammate this weekend at Eurobasket. People were confused if it's motivation or frustration. How do you guys see it?
Wow. Yeah,
I have a concussion from it.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard anything from Giannis, so I apologize if he's come out and said something about it. I have not seen that.
Giannis
but-
got me fucked up. He would have had me fucked up. We would have got our feet high. Straight
Literally.
up. Win, lose, or draw. There's no way you go slap me in the back of the head. That ain't playing. Did you see Giannis' facial expression? You get the bite in your bottom lip and you put that much force behind it, man, you got me fucked up, bro. We got to get our feet high. I don't give a damn what the circumstances are. As a man, as anybody, you got me so bent out of shape, bro. It would have been, man, when I say get your feet high, you know what that mean. Like when people fight and you be hearing the shoes.
Like when you dunk the chicken's head in the bucket and make sure he actually dies, like that kind of hot.
Nah, yeah, but when when people line it up and they about to square up and you hear the shoes scraping the concrete like, yeah, we go get our feet hot, brother. You cannot, ain't no fucking way, no way.
I just have not seen somebody get smacked like that since
He had conviction
joking
behind
at
that
church. And you be loud at church and your grandma just won't look, be like, Lord, pop. Like, oh, I don't know what would warrant that. Like what?
Okay, so I did see a quote tweet from Euro Hoops saying, "Thank God this player is resilient. They grew up together with Giannis Antetokounmpo, attended the same high school, and they are close friends. Still, this slap after the game was totally unexpected."
You think? And also,
like if Rich, okay, hang on. This is actually perfect. I'm mad that Rich isn't here. If Rich walked up to you, Channing, and did this, what would you do?
No.
This is essentially your story.
No, it's not.
You guys grew up together. You didn't go to high school. Oh, okay.
Richard.
What's happening? What's happening?
Hear me out. If we're in a game and we're losing, or I don't know if they lost or won, and Richard, like, let's say he did hit me like that, and he didn't immediately go, you know what, my bad, like, and apologize, I'm going to be mad. I might have to tackle him, or I might punch him in the stomach, but it's over because he's apologizing. Giannis bit his lip, looked at him, slapped him like a dog in the wrong room, and then went back to doing what he was doing. That's the part that makes me, obviously the slap, one. But the fact that he didn't even look at him like, ooh, I kind of got you. He got him, you see this fade? He got him in the fade part. He didn't even
That's
get
a
the
fade?
part.
Channing calling out his own
That's a
fade.
table.
Dear God.
That's a fade.
He got him right in that little knuckle right there. Hey, and Giannis heavy-handed any old way.
Yeah, thanks.
Hang on. I actually can't let this one go by either. Rich, are you there?
He's not.
I'm always here, Perk. Watch your mouth,
Rich,
bro.
when you
Just
tell
because
the story, we were all together in Vegas just a couple weeks ago breaking bread, and I know Channing and Perk saw this when Rich threw the piece of bread at Luke Wallen across the table.
That's a lie.
And what happened with Luke?
Oh, he got mad.
No. He got mad and threw it back, but hit me in my face. And he goes, no. Rich. My bad. Because he was on his phone and I was just messing around. So I threw the bread at him and the whole table's like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, man, we've been doing this since lunch tables at 17, right? I'm like, bro, get off your phone. He threw it back and hit me in my face. And he was like, no. Because he knows that I have a habit of escalating. Because then I would grab a water and throw it at him. And then like he would throw something and the table would break. And then we would laugh walking out, and everybody would be like, what the hell just happened? Right. So
I say
yeah,
that to say the Giannis thing happened on the floor. They're
No.
still grown men. This
You don't
happened
do
at a
that.
table.
You don't
Channing-
do that. You don't do that. And again, that's Giannis. I'm not Giannis. Hey, I'm not. That's your family.
Hey,
Those are
everyone
your
put their
people.
head down now. When
Giannis,
he
I'm not
snapped the
Giannis. Let me be very clear. You run your squad how you run. I'm just saying, like, I've never been hit like that, and I don't know how I would respond. I've been smacked into my back of my bald head a few times watching film by J Kidd and Kenyon because I was chirping too much, but not like a whole whop. But again, maybe he was talking back to the coach. Giannis is his big bro, and he like smack like, bro, what the hell are you doing? But everybody different, everybody different. I gotta go.
Ain't no.
I love you
That's all
guys.
Channing. My
Thank
point
you.
there is you're like, if he would have been like, yo,
My bad.
yeah, but that didn't happen.
No.
Perk,
No.
it wouldn't fly for you.
Dude
Nah,
didn't even flinch though.
You
Dude
gonna
didn't
have
even flinch. Can we let's not gloss over? Dude just was like, wow. Okay, yeah,
Hey, what you gonna do? You see how big Giannis is? That dude is
and
little.
Look, here's the thing. At that point, you got to kick my ass. And I have a rule now. Like, if people, like, I'm not ever doing any fighting. In that case, I would have to. Like, I'm 40. I'm not fucking fighting nobody. If you put your hands on me, you either going to jail or you getting sued. Okay, that's the thing. I'm not fighting nobody. I don't have time for this shit. Like, I'm 40 years old. I'm not going out there doing, like, we're not doing that. But that shit right there, me watching it, pissed me off. So
Oh yeah, it pissed everybody off.
it
Okay, story time. We're gonna end here. What's the most physical motivation you've seen in a huddle or locker room from your days?
Wow. I see a couple dudes like right for the game, throw some punches, and then be like, "Are we done?" I'm like, "Are you done?" I'd be like, "All right, let's go win the game. Go win the game." It was over. They were talking
Don't you
about
guys
each
think
other.
it would be? Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, I'll be quick. They
No, you're
were
good.
talking about each other, and this dude goes, "Man, let's not hide who you are. You ain't nothing but the first and the third." And they're like, "Huh?" He goes, "Man, you get your points in the first and the third, then you scared like a bitch in the fourth quarter. That's why I'm here. You had your chance. I'm here for this." And the dude got up. He goes, "What, man? What are we gonna do? Fight right now?" And the dude went like to faint at him. And the dude swung and said, "Man, I will," not like that, but like like whatever. And they literally were kind of going at it. Everyone's like, "Are y'all being serious?" They got their jerseys on. And the dude was like, "Are you done?" The one that was like, you're first and the third. He was like, "Yeah, I'm done." He's all right, come on, let's go win. And literally the whole team was like, "Wait a second." And in the game, first quarter, cooked. Second quarter, kind of chill. Third quarter, cooked. Fourth quarter, shrunk down. My guy, somebody give me that ball. Give me the ball. Ha! Took over.
Damn.
So it was kind of crazy. It was crazy. He kept trying to throw it to him, and he kept missing. He was like, "Man, give me the damn ball."
I have so many that I don't even listen. Through that window of 2007 to 2010, you have to realize it was so many fucking altercations, hands, furniture moving, Budweiser bottles getting bust on people's head, us having to hold Doc and Rondo back, like Ray and Rondo getting on the gloves because they didn't like each other, and we just had them box it out in the weight room, like literally box it out. TA, Tony Allen and Big Baby, full out altercation fight on the plane. Eddie House and Big Baby tore up my hotel my hotel room in San Antonio while we was playing Blu-ray.
Oh
Paul
my God.
Paul and TA, after we hit one of the spots, they get into an altercation. Like, we fought. We fought like a motherfucker, but we dabbed it up afterwards. It was like, all right, we move on type shit. But it was like that. We had developed so much of a bond that it didn't even matter. Like if you had something to get off your chest, shit, it was what it was. Now I will say this: the one that pissed me off the most, I hate when someone gets bullied. Right? So we got Vaughn Wafer.
Oh, what a name!
Vaughn Wafer. We have Delonte West. Okay. Those two guys are fighting for the last spot on the roster. Okay, in 2010. So what they would have to do is they would play 3-on-3s after training camp in preseason on the floor. D West on some like this had been building up. Like he had already been like doing the workouts we watching because it's that intense. We know that these two guys are competing for the last spot. D West talking shit, it's elbows on the floor, like they getting into it. Vaughn, he talking and he competing, but he ain't on the level that D West on. D West on some like, I'm about to die for this shit or I'm gonna kill for this shit. Like on this type of time, real talk. So Vaughn ended up winning the game on the floor, right, that day. Vaughn is sitting at his locker in the locker room. He's iced up. Towel on, chilling. D West come in the locker room like, motherfucker, what? What you said out there on the floor? Stands over him. Vaughn Wafer is leaking, right? This is one of the few times that I get pissed off at Shaq, right? Because this is bullying at this point. You know when somebody want to fight and you know when somebody don't want to fight. Vaughn had no intentions on fighting or doing none of that. That man just wanted to compete, go home, let the chips fall where they may. Shaq in there, oh shit, let's take it in the bathroom, take it in the shower. He got to get his lick back. I'm like, man, sit your big ass down, man, instigating that shit because I done got pissed off because one, the man got both feet in the mop bucket.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? You know, used to ice in the mop bucket, right? Both feet icing in the mop bucket. Neat, you know what I'm saying? Bags of ice on his knees. He chilling. He ain't on nothing. D West come up still off on the man. The man leaking, man. At this point, I feel bad. It's one thing for a motherfucker to get ready to go blows and you could tell both won't smoke. He wanted no action. So it was just bullying at that point. You know what I'm saying? And it was a real thing. And I'm just heated. And it's just like, oh, take it in the shower. I'm like, nah, man, ain't no take it in the shower, man. Break that shit up, man. That man don't want to fucking fight. So that was one of them.
Do you guys think it would be beneficial if the NBA instilled a rule like the 2-minute rule in hockey?
No.
It's not the 2-minute rule in hockey, but just let y'all duke it out for you get 90 seconds on the
I'll
clock.
tell you a lot. I tell you this. I tell y'all this. A lot of people talk that hot shit. A lot of people be acting like they want to fight. But I know two motherfuckers that they don't want to fight that's in the league right now. What they call them? The bully boys in Detroit. They want no smoke with Isaiah Stewart and no smoke with that motherfucker Jalen Durr. You seen them motherfuckers? They eating dumbbells. And when I saw that episode with Isaiah Stewart, when he was charging that Braun, raging, I was like, oh no, oh no.
Isaiah Stewart don't do a lot of talking. He like, man, let's just go back. We could do this.
Yeah, nobody on that.
He just don't do this.
I got to rant real quick, Allie. I do got to rant.
Go for it.
It should be a law. It should be a law. It should be a rule for women drivers that every single year they got to go fucking back and take defensive driving. You do not own the road. The road does not belong to you. The road does not belong to you. When someone is trying to come out of a parking lot and there's a light there on the street that they're trying to turn, don't block the driveway. Don't block the driveway. Like, don't block you supposed to be able to let, like, if it's a the fast lane is the left lane. The speed limit in Texas is 70 to 75 miles per hour on the highway. It is a rule. If it's 3 lanes, 1, 2, 3, the left lane is for passing.
You learned this in school.
Women.
Y'all
Women.
aren't as excused, okay?
No, it's no.
I'll
Listen,
stand up for you. Please insert Beyonce. Who run the world?
I tell
Okay, you sing
Vanity this. I tell Vanity this all
Shut
the
up, Vanity.
time when we're in the car together. Every time I have road rage because it's a driver, before I could see him, I tell her, I say, I bet you it's a woman driving, and it be the woman driving.
Sounds
be a
like a
woman.
you problem.
No, it ain't my fucking problem. Defensive driving. Let somebody in if they trying to switch lanes. Get out the left lane if you're going to drive below the speed limit.
There's also
Have some common courtesy on the highway. The road does not belong to y'all. Jesus. Once a year should go to defensive driving.
that's another episode of Road Trippin.
I need some stats. I need to know. I need some stats.
They gonna give it to us. They gonna give
Go
us
hit
the
the
stats.
like, subscribe button on YouTube. Go follow us. Leave us a rating and review on your favorite podcast app, Apple or Spotify. God, are you under my skin right now, Perk? I started this episode defending your ass, and now you're coming on all of us women drivers. It's another
Crazy.
edition of Road Trippin'.